Hello everybody, Ghost Games here with the guide on the Owlcat's Rogue Trader game. I'm playing and recording this game and it's awesome. If you like crpgs and Warhammer 40k, this is for you. The game system was somewhat unfamiliar to me, and I thought a lot of people might be in the same situation. I know the Warhammer 40k lore in broad strokes, I've played other games of the franchise and used to play the Warhammer Fantasy roleplay, but I'm not familiar with Dark Heresy, the 40k role-playing game. So the interest was there, but I didn't know the game mechanics. Also, this system comes from an age where simplification in tabletop RPGs was not a thing, and it's a lot less easy to understand than more recent systems. I'm playing the game on hard, and I had to dig deeper to go forth. The good news, in my opinion, is that you don't need to delve into the overwhelming number crunching. You can if it pleases you, but what you really need is just to understand what characteristics and skills you need for the character you want to play. For example, you don't really need to know how hit chances, parry or dodge are calculated, the equations. You just need to know that if you want to go melee, you need to increase weapon skill, and that will help in hitting and parrying. Then decide if you want to go damage dealing and go strength, or if you want to go tanking and go toughness. That's what this guide is all about, understanding what you're doing, so you can go and dive deeper if you feel the need. From there you will find all the information you want, in detail, in the game encyclopedia. Consider this a primer. And here's the friggin' spreadsheet, as I did for Baldur's Gate 3. Don't worry, I'm not going to read it, not all of it. I did it to organize information, and I will make it available in the description below, if you want a cheat sheet while you're playing. First thing first, this is the character spreadsheet. It may seem overwhelming, but let's divide it into 3 manageable parts: the characteristics, the skills, and the defensive parameters plus resolve. All numbers go from 0 to 100 plus, and certain characteristics will influence the relative skills, meaning their value will be added. When we're talking about a characteristic bonus, it's the characteristic value divided by 10, rounded down. So a characteristic of 45 has a bonus of 4. In the description, I've put in bold the terms you can find in the game encyclopedia if you want a detailed insight on them. Let's start with weapon skill, WS for short. It influences nothing, meaning it doesn't get added to any skill, it's a pure combat characteristic. It increases the critical hit chance and parry in melee combat, and decreases parry and dodge for enemies in close combat with you. Easy peasy, if you want to go melee, the higher the better. Ballistic skill, BS for short. Again, it influences nothing. It increases your accuracy with all ranged weapons. You want to go ranged and with weapons, not magic stuff, the higher the better. Strength, STR for short. It influences the athletic skill, meaning again you add it to athletics. It increases the damage with your melee weapons and makes you lift heavier objects. If you want to be a melee damage dealer, go for it. Worthy of note, you need 45 strength for heavy armor, so keep that in mind if you want to go heavy. Toughness, TGH for short, influences carouse. It helps you shrug off injuries, which are a result of taking a lot of damage in battle, aids in resisting toxins or diseases, and increases your character wounds, meaning the hit points, they are called wounds here. Agility, AGI for short, influences demolition. It means what you imagine and increases your initiative, dodge, and dodge reaction chances. Again, look those up in the in-game encyclopedia if you want, but you really need to keep in mind that initiative is combat order, and dodge means you're not taking damage from an attack. If you want to go with a fast character, difficult to hit, and wearing light armor, this is good for you. Intelligence, int for short, means exactly what you think, and influences a ton of skills. Logic, all the lore, Imperium, Warp, Xenos, Medicae, and tech use. Perception, PER for short, influences awareness. It helps in noticing stuff, and it reduces your enemy's dodge chance when you attack them. Willpower, WP for short, influences nothing. It's your mental resistance, and it's very important for psychers. At the end, Fellowship, FEL for short. It influences coercion, commerce, and persuasion. It is basically your charisma, and helps when dealing with people, be it intimidating them, persuading them, or business dealing. It's very important for officers. And that's it for the characteristic part. Let's go to the skills one. The first skill is Athletics. It helps in climbing stuff or clearing rubble, really revealing path on the map. Then we have Awareness. It's used to find hidden stuff like traps, loot, or secret doors on the map. Carouse will help in resisting negative effects like poisons. It's useful for tanks. Coercion will help you in dialogue if you want to intimidate people. It's the not nice dialogue skill. Commerce will help in striking deals, giving you more dialogue options. Also used for increasing your profit factor as a rogue trader when business dealing. Demolition is used to disable traps on the map, to blow up stuff like a barred door, quite useful in exploration. Logic is your rational reasoning, giving you more dialogue options, and helps when dealing with the computers. which in this game are called cogitators. Then what game will be an RPG without the lore skills? Here we have 3, and all deal with being knowledgeable around the subject. The 3 subjects are the Imperium of Man, the Warp and its Perils, also Chaos, and the Treacherous Xenos, the aliens and a lot of stuff coming from out of the Imperium, but not Chaos. Medicae is the healing skill, which will help in recovering wounds and injuries through medkits. And trust me, you will be stacking both. Persuasion will help in dialogue if you want to be diplomatic. It's the nice guy dialogue skill. Finally, tech use is all about repairing and using mechanical things, which in this game are often ancient relics and revered as such. Now we are near the ending of this guide, let's go over the last part of the character sheet. This is the most number crunchy part of the sheet, but again I don't think you need to know the details, but just what those mean. Deflection is a number you subtract from the damage you receive. If you're hit for 8 damage and have a deflection of 2, you really got hit for 6 damage. Simple as that. Then we have armor. It's a percentage you subtract from the damage you take from a hit, after deducting deflection. If you are hit for 12 damage and have again a deflection of 2, you carry over 10 damage. Then, if you have an armor of let's say 20%, you apply that to the 10 and take 8 damage. If you think about it, it's not that hard. First apply the deflection, which is a whole number, then apply the armor, which is a percentile. Dodge is a parameter that negates damage completely. You simply dodge the attack. It's applied to both melee and ranged attacks. Keep in mind that heavier armors reduce the dodge chance, so you have to consider whether to go heavy and reduce, or light and dodge. Dodge reduction is how much you reduce your enemy's dodge chance when attacking. It depends on the weapon you're using, so check them. Parry is for close combat. When you are attacked in melee and are using melee weapon, you'll try to parry. The higher your weapon skill, the higher your possibilities are. Lastly, resolve. This parameter will determine how much momentum you will gain in combat, on your turns and when killing an enemy. One last thing before concluding this video. In this game you have a party of 6, and each companion will chime in or contribute in some way when you need to use an ability and theirs is higher than yours. If you need to disable a trap, the highest demolition character will automatically go to disarm it. It's a great, reasonable way to make the entire party active, not only the main character. For this same reason, it's a good practice to specialize your party members in a couple of things each. Don't spread too thin on a single character. For example, if you want to be a tank specialized in weapon skill and toughness, and then in skills that synergize well, like arouse and maybe athletics, since you'll need 45 strength anyway for heavy armor. I'm done talking, I hope you find this guide useful. Please like, comment and subscribe, it helps the channel a lot. Also, if you have found strange combinations of characteristics and skills that work well together, let me know in the comments. I am very curious about weird and less beaten paths. As always, may your day be great.